Welcome to Rayat Online School Education 2021-22, Sadhguru Gadge Maharaj College Karat, guidance by Principal Dr. Mohan Rajmane Sir, Standard 11, subject Bookkeeping and Accountancy. Myself Patel Madam from SGM College Karat. Today we are going to see about purchase book, sales book, purchase return, sales return, etc. So let's start with the first point, purchase book, which is also said as body book. So goods purchased on credit for manufacturing or for resale are only recorded in purchase book. So cash purchases are not recorded in purchase book. So as well as similarly, credit purchases other than goods like purchase of office equipment, furniture, stationery and building are not recorded in purchase book. So always remember, goods purchased on credit, either it's there for manufacturing or for resale, are only recorded in purchase book. So if it's a cash purchase, it will not be recorded in purchase book. Similarly, if you are purchasing other than goods like purchase of office equipment, furniture, stationery and building are not recorded in purchase book. Example, a business dealing in machinery, spare parts will record only credit purchase of machinery, spare part in purchase book. So, if a business is dealing in machinery spare part, will record only credit purchase of a machinery spare part in purchase book. This book is also known as purchase journal. So, goods purchased on credit are always recorded at net value. Which value you have to take over here? Net value. That is about the purchase book. You can see meaning is completed, then is the format of a purchase book. The format is divided into 5 parts. First, you have to write the date. Then you have to write the name of supplier. Then you have to write inward invoice number. Then is LF and then is amount. This is the purchase book meaning and format. The second one is about purchase return. One by one we will see into detail. The second is about the purchase return book. Then purchase, in this book, purchase return of goods are recorded. Okay, purchase return. You can understand what does it mean. Purchase return means the goods which is purchased is returned back again. Sometimes goods purchased are returned to the supplier for various reasons. Such as goods are various reasons, such as the goods are not of the required quality. That means if it's a bad quality, it's a defective quality. At that time, goods are returned. For every return, a debit note in duplicate is prepared. The original one is sent to the supplier for making necessary entries in the book. The supplier also prepare a note which is called as a credit note. It is also called as purchase return journal, or you can also say it as a return outward book. A format is there in front of you. For making a format, again 5 points are there. Date, name of supplier, debit note number, LF number, amount in rupees. Okay, that is about purchase return book. So purchase return books, the return of good, the purchase return of goods are recorded in this. Okay, why do you return? Various reasons are there why you return to the supplier. The goods of not good quality, it's a defective quality. Okay, so for every return, a debit note in duplicate is prepared and the original is sent to the supplier for making entries, and supplier also prepare a note which is called as a credit note. That was the meaning and format of purchase return book. Afterward, the next is debit note. What do you mean by a debit note? A debit note is a statement containing the details of the goods like quantity, rate, etc. This note is prepared by the person who is returning the goods. The person who is returning the good is going to prepare this. It indicates that the account of the person or party to whom the goods are returned is debited. So what is debit note? It is a statement which contains the details of the goods like quantity, rate, etc. This note is prepared by a person who is returning the goods, and it indicates that the account of the person or a party to whom the goods are returned is always debited. Then we will see the next point is the format of a debit note. A format is given of a debit note. You can see in front of you, a format is prepared. We have first give a title, format of a debit note. In the center, you have to write company's name, Vignesh Trading Company Limited, Karve Road, Pune. On the left hand side is debit note number. On your right hand side is date. Then you will write to in detail. We hereby inform you that we have debited your account with rupees dash only for the goods returned by us as under. Then 5 columns you have to make: quantity, particulars, invoice number, rate and amount. Then on the right hand side, again for Vignesh Trading Company Limited, signature will be there. Then on the left hand side, E and O dot E prepared by dash SD. This is the format of a debit note. So what we have seen right now: purchase book, then we have seen purchase return book, and then we have seen debit note, meaning format each one. Then is the next one, which is about the sales book. Again we will see sales book, sales return and credit note, meaning format. Now what is sales book? Goods sold on credit are only recorded in sales book. Like purchase book, how it was there, it will be like that. Cash sales are not recorded in sales book. So when you sell the goods on a credit, at that time it will be written down in your sales book. Similarly, goods, asset, newspaper sold on credit are not recorded in sales book. Commonly, goods, asset, newspaper which you sold on a credit are not recorded in sales book. Example, a businessman dealing in furniture will record only credit sale of furniture in sales book. So a businessman who is dealing in furniture will record only what? A credit sale of furniture in the sales book. Cash sales of furniture will not be recorded in sales book. It is also known as sales journal. Goods sold on credit are always recorded at net value. At which value? Net value. Remember, it has to be recorded at the net value. Then you can see the format is there of a sales book. What is that format? First is date, name of the customer, outward invoice number, LF, amount in rupees. You can see in purchase book what was there? Same, only inward invoice it was there. Now in the purchase book what was there? Inward invoice number. And in the sales book what is there? Outward invoice number. Only this difference is there. Rest all it is same only. So that is about the sales book. Remember, goods sold on credit are only recorded. Cash sales are not recorded in sales book. Okay. And goods sold on credit are always recorded at net value. Afterward, the next we will see is sales return book, also said as return inward book. So when goods sold on credit are not recording to specification, sample or are damaged in transit, buyer or debtor can return them to seller. Such return of goods sold on credit only is recorded in sales return book. Return of goods sold for cash is not recorded in this book. It is also known as sales return journal. So when goods are sold on a credit are not according to specification, sample or damaged in transit, buyer or debtor can return them to seller. So the name only says sales return. So such return of goods sold on credit only is recorded in sales return book. Return of goods sold for cash is not recorded in this book. It is also known as sales return. On receipt of goods from the customer, a credit note is prepared. The difference between the credit and debit note is that the former is prepared by the seller and the latter is prepared by the buyer. Have you got it? That means on receipt of goods from the customer, a credit note is prepared. And the difference between the credit and debit note is that former is prepared by the seller and later then it is prepared by the buyer. Okay? Then we will see the next point, which you can see the format of a sales return book. 5 columns are there: date, name of the customer, credit note number, LF and amount in rupees. You can see in purchase return what was there? Same, only instead of credit, debit note was there. Okay, so this is the format of a sales return book. Date, name of the customer, credit note number, LF, amount. Got it? Okay. Afterward, the next one we will see is the credit note. Okay, credit note is a statement containing the details of the goods returned as to quantity, rate, etc. Credit note indicates that the account of the person who has returned the goods is credited. The credit note is sent by the seller to the buyer when the goods are returned by the buyer. Remember this. What is a credit note? It's a statement that contains the details of the goods returned as to quantity, rate, etc. Credit note indicates that account of the person who has returned the goods its credit. It is sent by whom? Seller to the buyer when the goods are returned by the buyer. That is about the credit note. We will see now the format of a credit note. In the format of the credit note, you can see it's same, only some differences there. Rest all it is same only. In the format of the credit note, you can see in front of you, you have to draft it. We will write Vijay Trading Company Limited at the center. Yes or no? Then we will write Karve Road, Pune. On the left hand side, credit note. When debit note was there, debit note you have to write. On the right hand side, date will be there. Then we will write to dash dash. It will be there. Then we will write, we hereby inform you that we have credited your account with rupees dash only. And in debit note, what was there? We have hereby informed you that we have debited. This is the only difference, not a major difference. Okay, up was credit note. In debit note, write debit note. We hereby inform that we have credited if it's a credit note. If it's a debit note, we have to write we hereby inform that we have debited. Then for the goods returned by us as under. Okay, same. Quantity, then you have to write particulars, invoice number, rate, amount. Okay, it's very, very simple. The credit and debit note is same. Only two differences there, which now only I have said to you. Then on the left hand side, ENOI, prepared by dash SD. On the right hand side, for Vijay Trading Company Limited, and signature will be there. Got it, everyone? Yes or no? Yes. First we have seen what? Purchase book, purchase return, debit note. Then we have seen sales book, sales return, and credit note. Got it? Now further we will see about the journal proper. Now what is journal proper? We will see. At the here we have a book which is maintained to record the transaction which do not find place in a special journal. Subsidiary books is known as journal proper. Okay, so a book which is maintained to record the transaction which do not find place in special journal is known as journal proper. Thus, transactions that cannot be recorded in any particular book are recorded in journal proper. Okay, so any book which is maintained to record the transaction which do not find place in special journal, that is subsidiary books, is known as journal proper. Thus, transactions that cannot be recorded in any particular book are recorded in journal proper. Example, assets and other things except goods purchased on credit cannot be recorded in cash book or in purchase book. But these type of transactions are recorded in journal proper. Are you getting, everyone? That means if it's an assets or other things, if it's an asset and other thing, except goods purchased on a credit, cannot be recorded in cash book or in purchase book. But these type of transactions are recorded in journal proper. Getting, everyone? Yes or no? So a book which is maintained to record the transaction which do not find place in special journal are known as journal proper. Transactions that cannot be recorded in any particular book will be recorded in journal proper. An example which is given over here, assets and other things except goods purchased on a credit cannot be recorded in cash book or in purchase book, but these type will be recorded in journal proper. Format is given in front of you. In the format of the journal proper, first we have to write what? In the books of dash. Then we will write journal proper. Then we will make a format over here. In the format, you can see over here date, particulars, LF, debit amount, credit amount. This has always been given to you. So a journal proper is very important. We have to, various types of entries will be given over here and it is very, very important. Okay. So here always various types of transaction which cannot be recorded in other can be recorded in journal proper. Okay, and the format which is given to you, we have to draft according to the format only. Date, particulars, LF, debit amount, credit amount. In this way, today we have seen the meaning and format. Yes or no? The meaning of journal, proper and format. With that prior, I teach to you, that was purchase book, meaning format, purchase return, meaning format. Yes or no? Debit note, meaning format. Then again, sales book, sales return, credit note, meaning format. And at lastly, now I have teach you about the journal proper, a book which is maintained to record the transaction which do not find place in special journal is known as journal proper. Any transaction that cannot be recorded in particular book will be recorded in journal proper. Understood, everyone? Yes or no? So in this way, today we'll complete the lecture here only, and I will end up my lecture, and we will see further in our next time the problem on purchase book, sales, etc. Enough for today. Thank you.